So, you just finished the school year, and now you're faced with a decision. What should I do for the next 2 whole months? For the last however many summers you've indulged and wasted, what is possibly the perfect opportunity to make the greatest comeback of your entire existence? Chapter 1, The Mindset. So I was gonna start this video by giving you motivation or whatever, but then I realized you already have plenty of motivation. The fact that you need to turn around your life, the fact that you need to make a comeback, keyword need, is motivation enough. What you really need is the right mindset. The mindset that will get you through the next 2 months. You need a mindset that you can do anything. And I know that sounds cringe or whatever, so I'll put it like this. Make it happen. It's something that I say at the end of every video, and it's hopefully less cringe. But it still means the same thing. That you can make it happen, that you can do anything. Yeah, you. Joseph and Sen, dude, I know you are. What you do when nobody's watching shows what your priorities truly are. When nobody's watching, nobody has to know what you do, right? So I can scroll on TikTok because all those people I told I was gonna quit, they don't have to know, they'll never know. But the thing is, if you're gonna make a comeback, if you're gonna prove everybody wrong, it has to be your priority. You're not just gonna do it on accident. It has to be your priority. Another thing is you shouldn't even tell those people you're gonna quit, because it shows that your priority is more to get the validation of others and not to actually achieve the result you want. So hey, what are your goals, bro? What are your goals for this summer? Exactly, don't say anything. Don't say anything back, because you shouldn't tell anybody, even me, about your goals. It has to be your priority. Chapter 2, The Plan. In all truth, no comeback has ever been made without a plan. Even if you have the perfect mindset and you believe you can do it, if you have no idea what you're actually going to do, you're not going to make it. So, to lay this out for you, you have to think of what makes a comeback. What would you have to achieve? What goals would you have to complete to make it feel like, damn, I made a really serious turnaround in my life? Then that's what you need to do. So, you're going to write down 5 of them on a piece of paper. Then you're going to pick your favorite 1 or 2, maybe 3. Put a star next to them. I'll put mine on screen, and then you're just going to cross out the other 2, because they don't matter. It's the 80-20 rule, man. You should know this. Those 20% of the goals are going to get you all the results you want. And then every day, you just have to do 1 thing for each goal. Whoa. But Channing, how do I know what to actually do? Well, I could waste your time again and tell you to do the paper thing, or you could use that big brain of yours and implement the 80-20 rule. It's whatever activity is going to get you closer to the goal. They all get you closer to the goal. Whatever one gets you the closest to the goal, whichever one makes you the most progress, that's what you have to do every day. But another thing I really need to add here is that if you win the day, if you do the tasks today that make you feel like you won the day, then eventually completing your goals that day compounds to completing your goals that week. If you win the day, you win the week. If you win every day, you win the month. If you win the month, you win the year. If you just focus on winning every day, then eventually you'll win life. That's what you have to do every day. So the thing is, you might have heard this all before. The 80-20 rule, 3 things a day, and it didn't work. Well, because that's only half of the equation. You have to remember that you still kind of suck. That's okay, it's the reason you're doing all this. You're not able to hold yourself accountable yet, but there is someone who can. Your ego. Oh no, scary, my ego. Everybody told me to push him away. And yeah, from a young age, everybody's told you being egotistical is a bad thing. And it is, but there's a time and a place for every emotion. Now's the time for your ego. Your ego will say, 3 things a day? That's so easy. I can do way more than that. If I don't get 3 things a day done, I fucking suck. Your ego is a monster. If you let him run wild, it's your fault. It's your job to control him. Your ego will try and get you to do so much work that eventually you'll quit. You need just enough ego to the point where if you don't do the habits, it's a massive blow and it's almost hard. It almost hurts not to do them. And obviously, since your ego isn't like a real thing, he's not like a real person, you have to make something to remind you. You need to make a habit tracker, not some boring lines and checks. The more interesting you make it, like the more of a reminder it is to you, the more of a reminder your ego becomes. So you need to make it at least like a little bit colorful. I did that by like, instead of putting X's and checks, I put red and green. Just like catches your eye more. And then you also need to put it somewhere where you'll actually see it. I literally put mine like on my mirror so that every morning I see it and I just check it off for yesterday. I mean, it's more of the obvious thing to check it off like at the night, but I could just never get consistent with that. So I might have to try a couple things and see what actually works. Chapter 3, the lifestyle. What you just heard and hopefully learned took me like a really long time to create. That's because I'm trying to make a comeback too. And so what I learned is that this video wouldn't be complete if you didn't understand the lifestyle. There's a reason this isn't the most disciplined and rigorous protocol you've ever heard of, because it's for life. It should actually seem pretty easy. And while this is technically like a 2-month challenge to turn around your life, what's the point of a comeback if you're just gonna lose all of your progress afterwards? Well, I thought of that too. There's a reason this isn't a challenge, it's a lifestyle. That's what the people who lose weight and struggle to keep it off don't understand. It's that this is the hardest part. You can't just, like, once the time's up and you've made the progress, you can't just go back to your old lifestyle, because then you have to do this all over again. You have to do the hard part again. You only should have to do this once. It's the course correction part. If you're on this path of like bad habits and stuff, and then you go through the comeback part and you make all this effort to put yourself on a new path, you can't just, like, it's way easier to keep going down that path than it is to just go back to your old lifestyle and head back to the other path. You've done the hard part, now just keep going. It's way easier to be 100% in, because then you don't even have to think about decisions. The person who's 99% in, the guy who's only 99% committed, still has to make a decision if he should do the work or not. And even though it's only a 1% chance, the fact that he has to make a decision, the way your brain works, makes it that when you make that decision, you're gonna end up choosing the easier option a lot more than 1% of the time. But the guy who's 100% in and committed for life, he doesn't even have to choose. It's already decided for him. It's just, I'm gonna do the work. It's just, no, I don't eat that food. It's decided for him. It's way easier to be 100% in, because then you don't even have to like decide what to do anymore. It's already decided for you. And if this is for life, then things are gonna change. You can't just keep doing the same 3 habits over and over again and expect your life to just keep changing. That's not how it works. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And you know that guy's pretty smart, right? So if you don't trust me, you can just trust him. But the one thing that causes change is change itself. If you never change anything, you'll inevitably flatline. Whether you like slowly increase the amount of work you're doing, you overload it, you progressively overload, or you change the habit entirely, the whole point of doing something every day is just to make it ingrained in your lifestyle and in your mind. So once it's like ingrained in your daily routine, then you can start to change things up and keep growing. You change things in your life to change your life. Damn. Make it happen. I believe in you, bro.